Ibrahim Traore, if anything should happen to him, the entire world will have to deal with us, the youth.
Ibrahim Traore, in the last 2 years, and you see the reason why Africa is where it is and why the West is coming back. We'll continue to rise and resist this. And I made this quote and I say this, that it's either they accept.
It is AI generated. That is what uninformed and ignorant people say about the growth and development President Ibrahim Traore keeps bringing to Burkina Faso.
Captain Ibrahim Traore, the interim president of Burkina Faso, has garnered significant support across Africa and among the African diaspora, including in countries like Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria, and to some extent, Jamaica. This support stems from various factors: anti-colonial and pan-African rhetoric, Traore's strong anti-imperialist stance, his calls for African self-reliance, and his defiance of Western influence resonate deeply with many who feel their countries have been exploited by foreign powers. He has expelled French troops and pursued a pivot towards partners like Russia, youthful and charismatic image. At 36, Traore is the world's youngest president, and his image as a young, dynamic and uncorrupt leader contrasts sharply with some older, entrenched African leaders. This has made him particularly popular among African youth. Symbol of resistance. Many view Traore as a symbol of resistance against neo-colonialism and a champion of African dignity and sovereignty. His actions, such as rejecting IMF and World Bank loans and nationalizing gold reserves, are seen by supporters as bold moves to assert Burkina Faso's independence. Social media amplification. His message and image have been widely amplified through social media, with many viral videos of his speeches and public appearances further fueling his popularity. Perceived as a different leader, his focus on tangible reforms like raising civil servant wages, embarking on projects to provide free farms and houses, and producing locally made armored vehicles, alongside his rejection of Western financial aid, has led many to see him as a leader who prioritizes his people's well-being. While there is strong support, it's also important to note that controversy and criticism. Traore's rise to power through a coup d'etat and his military rule have drawn criticism from some international bodies and Western nations regarding democratic governance and human rights. Security challenges remain. Despite his efforts, Burkina Faso continues to face significant challenges, particularly with the ongoing Islamist insurgency. Overall, the support for Ibrahim Traore from countries like Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, and Jamaica largely reflects a shared desire for greater African sovereignty, economic independence, and a rejection of perceived foreign interference.
Wrong. Yeah. It is time for us to right our errors and our wrongs. Yes. There is plenty of reason for us to take this personal, because Kwame Nkrumah is watching us right now. Right now. Yes. And he said, if you want to be free as Ghanaians, show me that you have changed. Yes. Right now. Show me that your mentality is different. It is our time. There is a new Casablanca group, and it is called the Sahel. And Chad is rising to join. Yes. Senegal is rising to join. Yes. And as this man, Ibrahim Traore, survives, more will join. We have a president that says, I see Congo. And when I get things stabilized here, we go into Congo. How many African presidents have said that? No. We have a president that says, I see Sudan. And when I get things straight in Burkina Faso, we go into Sudan. How many African presidents are talking like that? No one. So if we keep this man alive and protect this man with our lives, this man is setting the blueprint for the united Africa that Kwame Nkrumah always wanted. Yes. Yes. We must be willing to die for him, but we must also be willing to live for him. Yeah. Make this message and make this name known all around. He has to sit back and allow Western media to intimidate them, to wrongfully, let them understand what we've been missing for too long. Because now, all these gadgets we are seeing here is actually sending the message. And you need nobody to tell you the truth. You just have to log it in and go and see for yourself. Read for yourself and you see the truth. If you can't even read, nothing. Just log in Ibrahim Traore. In the last 2 years,
and you see the reason why Africa is where it is and why the West is coming back. We'll continue to rise and resist this. And I made this quote and I say this, that it's either they accept it is either they accept the realities of the revolution now, of this generation, or else they wait for the consequence of this revolution. No retrieve, no surrender. Aluta continue.
If you had a black man, take his resources. If you had a
Get out of the country! I said get out of Ghana! Get out of Africa!
quick.
We have come to stay. We are not going back. And every one of you here, take it to your house. Let's revolt against leaders who are puppets now. Leaders who have made Africa, an extortion to the Western world. This must not happen again. Never. Ibrahim Traore, if anything should happen to him, the entire world will have to deal with us, the youth.
Hands up, Africa!
Africa must be free.
Hands up, Africa!
Africa must be free. So we are here today as an new day, not for joke. We are here to send a message to the entire world that we are ready for them. An eye for an eye, a boot for boot. You kill one, we kill 10. You kill one, we kill 1,000. And no government of Africa can stop us. Because this is for the revolution of the people. We are not going back. What belongs to Africa must belong to us. Yes, ago I asked my wife whether it's possible for the whites to come and be, house girl and house boy, factory workers in Africa. She looked at me and she laughed. And I told her, it is possible. From Mabi Buboba. From Mabi Buboba. He said it long time ago. And from Anabeba. And we must not let go. We must make sure that from Anabo in the entire of Africa.
They don't respect you. So have some self-respect and stop respecting them. No white person is superior to you. No European is superior to you. We are equal.
Yes, black country.
We are equal. All humans are equal. No human being is superior to you. And don't allow any white person to make you feel they are superior. If you know true history, you will see that we taught them everything. Without black people, there will be no maths. Without black people, there will be no music. Without black people, there will be no surgery. Everything they know, they learn from us. And they took slaves like Sarah Batsman. They tore her apart, took her body, and they analyzed it. They used her to experiment on. They use African cells to develop things like cancer treatments. They use us all the time. So without us, what is Europe? Ask yourself. If they use, even our bodies are used to experiment with their medicines.
It is AI generated. That is what uninformed and ignorant people say about the growth and development President Ibrahim Traore keeps bringing to Burkina Faso. Well, he has done it again. On the 22nd May 2025, Thursday afternoon, President Ibrahim Traore laid the foundation of a cashew apple processing plant at Penny, located on National Road number 7, about 30 kilometers from Bobo Dioulasso. This cashew processing plant costs 6.65 billion CFA franc and it is scheduled for completion by December 2025. The purpose of this processing plant is to produce finished product and encourage stakeholders to invest. Also on the 23rd of May, President Ibrahim Traore visited the Tage Ouattara Military Hospital. I hope I pronounced it correctly. You guys should pardon me. Well, he visited the hospital to encourage the staffs and provide guidance for better care of the sick and wounded. At the end of the visit, President Ibrahim Traore gave firm instructions for the construction of new infrastructure and the acquisition of standard equipment to raise the level of the medical hospital. President Ibrahim Traore also said it is abnormal for a soldier to get injured and suffer at the battlefront and still suffer in the hospital due to a lack of proper healthcare services. In a country like Nigeria, where wounded soldiers are not properly taken care of and left to cater for themselves, I hope you all are learning from President Ibrahim Traore. I still remain the best copywriter in the food industry. If you want to start a food business or grow your food business on social media and off social media, send me a DM.
Respect this guy, respect this guy. This guy is the one and only. We need more of them. Support Traore.
So what do you think about him?
It's gonna change. It's gonna be the example for other countries in Africa. This one is the one. It's the one we all Africans desire. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
The one.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Every time you wake up, that's right, it never fails. So Burkina Faso's GDP is now $22 billion compared to the $17 billion it was back in 2020 when Ibrahim Traore took office. So thanks to him, that number went up $5 billion. And this does not include the oil or the gold, because now Burkina Faso refines its own oil and gold. So come 5 years, this number is going to skyrocket. And if you look at France, they have over $3 trillion and they steal everything from us. So imagine what would happen to all African countries if we get our acts together. Y'all need to start studying Ibrahim Traore instead of hating on him and everything he's doing.
Listen to a prophecy made by this man, okay, called Malcolm X. Listen to him very carefully, and you know that what is happening now is divine. Listen.
There will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it. No federal court, state court, or city court will bring an end to it. It's something that the black man has to bring an end to himself.
No African went to North come and make us a slave. No African said, come and save us. We were minding our own business. Okay? The likes of Mansa Musa were traveling. And as we were traveling, we were going to like, ooh, where from all these riches? Ooh, where from all these wonderful things? And it was our travels that made them want to have a seat. So we were developed for organization. The idea that we were not developed is a lie. We had everything in Africa. We had a functioning system of government. We had street lights. We had everything in Africa. Colonizers came, stole everything, flipped it upside down, took our story as theirs. And so we are here today to rewrite the story. Africa, we taught Europeans everything. We taught them everything. And today they want to have today. People will no more bow to colonizers. Africans across Africa. When you see a white person in Africa, stop them brony. They don't respect you. So have some self-respect and stop respecting them. No white guy is superior to you. No European is superior to you. We are equal.
We can be a black Indian, we can be a black Asian, but it doesn't matter who you are.
That's the winner. That's the That's right.
Major breaking news. Niger president is accusing Nigeria of attacking Sahel state, that it's Nigeria which is causing all this problem that is happening in Sahel and also in Africa. So Niger president is saying that Nigeria is the home of terrorists, that France is working together with Nigerian president so that they can train are terrorists. So the terrorists which are attacking Sahel State, Burkina Faso, and everywhere, they are all trained in Nigeria and Benin. Can you believe this? So Niger president also continued and said that France is paying billions of CFA, that when you go to these terrorists, you find them with billions of CFA. All these CFA come from France. France is the manufacturer of this CFA, so they pay them to train them. So there are facilities, can you believe this, facilities mainly to train terrorists in Nigeria. Just when you walk a little bit, you will find one facility which is training terrorists, and also in Benin. I can't even believe this. He's asking, why are Africans being used? Why are they agreeing to be used by the West to destroy their own country?
So we have some major breaking news coming from Ivory Coast. The president of Ivory Coast, Alassane Ouattara, has spoken about the attempt coup that was happening in Ivory Coast. And what he said has shocked everybody. This is what he said. ECOWAS will never allow anybody to remove him from power. ECOWAS will die for him. ECOWAS will protect him at all costs, and nobody is going to remove him from power. And he said that all the countries that have been taken through coup d'etat, the Sahel states, he is going to deliver them, and he's going to ensure that there is a democratically elected president in those countries. You cannot imagine how he was talking these things with a lot of confidence when he was called in Nigeria to talk with Tinubu, and he said that he is ready to deliver those countries, the Sahel states, including Burkina Faso, with President Ibrahim Traore. You cannot imagine how he was saying that ECOWAS, all the friends of ECOWAS and everybody in ECOWAS will fight for him to ensure that he will never be overthrown from the seat.
Breaking news. France has lost over $3.5 billion from Niger, and this has made Macron very angry. France and Niger has had this uranium dispute which has never made sense to me. How can France be disputing over resources of another country? And how can Niger just allow this? And they have allowed this for over 50 years. The dispute has just started, but 50 years France has just been taking the uranium they want and giving a small cut to Niger. Well, the president of Niger has said, we are kicking out the French. They will not be taking our resources anymore. In over 50 years, now is when they are standing up. This has raised a debate online. Who truly owns Africa's resources? Just like that, the president of Niger has ended 50 years of exploitation and bad deals. Personally, I am a little mad that it took 50 years for them to open their eyes, but I'm very happy that they finally did. This has become a lovely trend. France being kicked out of Africa, specifically West Africa. They were kicked out of Burkina Faso, where they used to take gold worth 18 billion and just give 1 billion to Burkina Faso, until Captain Ibrahim Traore kicked them out and uncovered how much they have been stealing from them exactly. Now, the Ivory Coast has also kicked France out. Yes, France's closest ally in Africa is being kicked out by them. But that is not good news, because they kicked out the French and invited the Americans. So it's just taking one dictator and putting another one. And let me ask you Africans, do you truly know that Africa is the richest continent on earth? Like these are not rumors, this is actual facts. Africa is the richest continent on earth, but it has the poorest people on earth at the same time.
France has just been told to fuck off by Chad. After over 60 years, France has been kicked out of Chad, and today they finally withdrew their last troops from their last military base there. And on top of this, Russia has been invited in to take France's place, which is really embarrassing for France. Now, something to know, it isn't actually just Chad that's done this. In fact, a really large number of countries in West Africa have also done the same. In fact, within just the last 12 months, over 5 countries have collectively kicked out over 5,000 French troops from Africa, with those countries being Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and the Ivory Coast. Now, according to reports, over 50% of the about 300 million people that speak French actually live in Africa, so France is still going to have a really big influence in Africa. However, with countries like Russia being invited in to take France's place, it certainly shows which side of the world that these countries in Africa are going to be working with. But anyways, you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.